react and review all the best clips around the country. All right, so now here we are. We're with Colin Cowherd, talking about the Cowboys. Can the team still win it? Are they still good? Are they still elite? I haven't watched this clip yet. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really want to build something special here. On the other platforms, you just don't get the same engagement, right? You go to Colin's Twitter page or, Nick Wright's page or anything like that, you're just not getting any interactions. Here, let's get the discussions going. If you think I'm crazy for my takes, tell me that I'm crazy. If you think I'm right on and spot on, let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights, friendly fights that is. And either way, let's just have some fun. So let's get into it.
So the Dallas Cowboys, what do we make of that? Outside of the San Francisco 49ers, the best team in the league, this is a very situational league. This happens all the time to good teams. In fact, the bet of the week next week in the NFL, take Dallas to beat Miami. Dallas, humiliated and pushed around, faces Miami, who flexed against an awful Jets team. Dallas is going to have the hardest week of practice in 2 years. Remember when they got beat by San Francisco? When good teams get humiliated, and not just beat, but literally mocked, pushed around, bullied, Dallas is going to be fine in a week. But there is a disturbing trend. Road Dak and trailing Dak doesn't even resemble home Dak and leading Dak.
The real trend is that the Cowboys have not beaten any really good teams. The only good team that they truly beat was the Eagles. And winning, again, and that wasn't even a fair fight. The Eagles have just been run down. They were in their gauntlet playing, the Bills, playing the 49ers. They played the Chiefs. It was exhausting for them. And the Cowboys had extra rest because the Cowboys played on Thursday. And then the Eagles had just played on Sunday against the 49ers. A very physical, beatdown as well. So that wasn't a fair fight. The first round against the Eagles was a fair fight. And the Eagles ended up winning. So that was a tough game. And the Cowboys were home. The Cowboys are yet to beat an actual good team. In fact, anytime they play a good team, they get smoked. They get beaten. So, it's more than just home and away record here. I think the Cowboys are more pretenders than actually anything.
Second problem is 3 of their 4 losses, they've been absolutely shelled. Arizona by 12, San Francisco by 32, Bills by 21. Why? What is it? My hunch is this. The Cowboys are a glamour franchise, and the NFL and Dallas is getting younger. Teams are younger, and younger people, mood swings, up, down, less mature. When I watch Dallas, I see a team with a lot of talent. I do not see a team with a lot of composure. They're like a teenager. You get these big mood swings, from a sweetheart to demonic after a bag of Skittles. They just don't know how to act all the time. They don't have any composure. They get down and they panic. They get down and they get rattled, and they try to make a big play, and they compound their problems. So, and the problem with that is if you look at Dallas's road to the Super Bowl now, it's going to be a road journey. Mm-hmm. At Philly, at San Francisco.
Yep.
At Detroit. Lions are great at home.
They're
at
not good
Tampa.
enough.
Baker Mayfield now playing ball. At Los Angeles, which would be a Cowboy home game, but none the same. You know what Dallas is on the road. Dak's not the same. Team's not the same. Physicality's not the same. It is a different team.
And now the question is, I don't know if you guys can look this up and let me know in the comments. Has any team ever won a Super Bowl with every single game on the road? I'm sure it's happened, but the chances of that have to be just so slim to none. Because that's the thing. The Cowboys will end up being in the wild card if the Eagles can take care of their business, which they should. Although there is a glitch in that system because Jalen Hurts is sick and he might not play tonight. So that's something to keep a lookout on. But if Jalen Hurts is healthy, they should be able to beat them. Beat Seattle. So Cowboys looks like that they'll be playing every team against the road. And all the teams that Colin just listed are good teams. They all have the potential to just blow the Cowboys out. There's a legit chance that the Cowboys could lose first round, without a doubt.
Now, I'm not selling my Cowboy stock. There's not a lot of great in the NFC. Detroit week to week, you don't know what you get. Philadelphia's reeling. Rams are on fire, but limited. There's not a lot of great. By the way, Dallas still has some home games left. They'll be a different team in a week against Miami, and I like their personnel. I still do. I like a lot of it.
They're going to lose to
But
Miami.
inconsistent people and inconsistent coaching and inconsistent teams,
And that's why they'll win.
Don't wear rings. And Dallas remains the most penalized team in the league.
Awful.
The most tenuous and nebulous on the road. The most inconsistent 1-3 against winning teams. And the Dak part?
1-3.
At home, he's 7-0 and 122 passer rating. On the road, he's 3-4 and it drops to 84. He is like a different player entirely on the road. They're almost like a college team. They protect their home floor, their home stadium, and they're atrocious. Kids panicking.
I mean, listen, look at this. You're always going to have a better record at home, and you're just going to play better at home, right? You get to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to travel. It's your own crowd, all of that, right? We understand that. But it's starting to get more equalized. Again, in the modern NFL, home field advantage is becoming less and less and less. You can see this with the spread. Vegas, it's becoming less and less and less of an advantage because of things like technology, because of all the communications in the helmets and stuff like that. So the crowd kind of can play less of a role, and there's less distractions. Back in the old days when you would go on the road, players would party more. They would go out more. They would get more into trouble. Now, with Instagram and social media and Twitter and dating apps and stuff like that, a lot of these guys would go out because they would want to hook up with girls. Now they don't have to go to the bars and the clubs to do that. They literally just get DMs sent to them, or they swipe on Tinder and then they leave a key for them at the hotel. I mean, like, that's literally how it works. And so that's why we've seen this in basketball too, that the records have gotten better on the road than in the past, back in the 80s and 90s. So what's going on with Dak Prescott here is kind of telling, because this is not the norm. A lot of elite quarterbacks still play good on the road. This is not good. Completion. I mean, like, it's 10 points, swung each way. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So this is a serious thing. This is something you have to really look for. And honestly, some of those numbers are inflated because when he plays against the Eagles, he shows up. He always shows up against the Eagles. And so if he didn't necessarily show up against the Eagles, then that record would be even worse. And honestly, those other games are when he plays the Giants, who are trash. When he plays the Washington Commanders, who are trash. So those are pretty much against those wins and good numbers are against the NFC East. So, even that's inflated.
Mood swings on the road. Generally, when you have kids, the less mature the kids are, the more trouble they are on a road trip.
It's true.
Right? Like, that's Dallas. They're a glamour franchise, young in spots, highly emotional, a little immature, and panic on the road. Get into their feels quickly, panic on the road. The great teams in this league, I always feel like with Baltimore, I kind of get the same team. I always feel like that. I kind of feel like with New England in their prime, I get the same team. Rams this year, I get the same team. They got older players on offense. But when I get this Dallas team, it's insane. Very collegiate because they're young in certain key spots. But I'm not selling my Cowboy stock. It is a situational league outside of the Niners.
I sell a little bit. I wouldn't sell it
all.
all.
Is that week to week, depending on what happened last week and this week. For the record, my pick of the weekend was Detroit. They were humiliated the previous week. I also like Buffalo because I thought Dallas would go on the road and feel themselves. So the Cowboys play Miami next week. I think they're going to be good. It was pick 'em. It's not anymore. I would take Dallas. It's one of the better bets of the week. But it is disturbing because to get to the Super Bowl, it's going to be a series of road games.
If Tyreek Hill is playing,
this team,
but
3 road games in a row. I'm just wanting them to play well once on the road against a good team, and I've yet to see it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to...
So, yeah. That's what it is. I mean, I think it's, I think the Cowboys are in a tough situation right now because they've never been able to consistently win in difficult situations. They just can't. They've proven that. Dak has kind of proven that. And I'm not even like a Dak hater, but it's just you should, if you're a Cowboys fan, because a lot of Cowboys fans jump at this, and it's like, if you're a Cowboys fan, you should want your team to be better. You should want your quarterback to be better. Don't trick yourself into believing there's something when they're not, okay? The way you get better is by facing reality, not hiding your secrets. okay? Because they always come back to get you in the playoffs. Always. No matter what the sport is, your weakness always comes back to haunt you in the playoffs. You may be able to skirt on by in the regular season, not in the playoffs. They're not a good road team. They don't play well against actually good elite teams. That's what the playoffs are. So if they go to the playoffs and they go on the road and they're playing elite teams, they're going to lose. That's the reality of the situation. So best of luck, Cowboys. But what do you all think? Please let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate the support.